Ezekiel Elliot and his agent are en route. Do you go en route or en route? I think route. En route from Cabo to the DFW. And the idea is they haven't signed or shaken hands on a deal, but you don't get off the beach in Cabo unless you're getting pretty close. And Tuesday is really kind of D-Day, right? I'm sure they're doing the offensive install on Wednesday with the game plan, and you got to be there. We got to see what kind of shape he's in, if he's going to play this weekend at all. Now, full disclosure, I drafted Zeke knowing he could miss a game or two, but thinking this was a formality that ultimately I drafted him in my fantasy league. Tried to draft him in both fantasy leagues, but only ended up with one. This from Pro Football Talk. Now, keep in mind, Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio's site, is traditionally a player-friendly site. Remember that. That in news media, we have MSNBC, which is out and left, Fox News, which is out and right. Right? CNN tries to play the middle. They seem to lean more left right now, but they may be kind of down the middle. Like, that's how the news media works. In digital journalism with football, most everybody is player friendly, and I would say Pro Football Talk is the MSNBC of the NFL. I don't mean that in an exceptionally negative way. Like, Rachel Maddow is remarkably talented and brilliant, but her perspective is one from her perspective. And Mike Florio believes that college football players should be paid, that NFL owners are just, all they are is money-hungry dudes. That dudes should get what they get and not take a penny less than what they feel like they deserve. And so when I read the chatter at the moment in knowledgeable league circles that the team and the player have come to terms on a 6-year, $90 million extension, a source with directly knowledge of the situation, it should be direct knowledge situation, tells Pro Football Talk that the deal is not yet done, but it's close. If it's a 6-year, $90 million extension, the deal will also have new money average of $15 million per. It also would tie Elliott to the Cowboys for 8 years, since he has 2 years left in his rookie deal. My issue is I don't care how many years it has left, because Zeke has shown he's really under contract for 4 more years and he's already holding out. This is like Darrelle Revis. If you give in and you pay him top dollar, what's to stop him from renegotiating if the price for running backs goes up over the next couple of years? But $15 million per would make him the highest paid running back in the league, surpassing that of Todd Gurley. My guess is that the Cowboys protected themselves, that they'll own his rights in perpetuity, however long they want. And the payback to that is there will be some years in which he'll make $15 million per. But they want to protect themselves against injury or against a fading career. They love Ezekiel Elliott. They don't think he's Todd Gurley. He doesn't have the past injury history of Todd Gurley, but he does have a past history with the commissioner of the NBA. That's important. How he ages is important. But also the fact that they have him this year, equally important. My guess is that Zeke's side will say I'm the highest paid running back ever, and that the team will pitch it as, yeah, look, La'el Collins allowed us to free up some new money. They freed up $5 million in change in cap space. We can pay him some now, get him to an appropriate level. We're not going to actually pay him top dollar, and we'll own his rights forever so that he can never do this to us again, but he's going to do it to you again. We good? That's why they're the Ross and Rachel of the NFL. You knew they were going to be together at the end of the day. That's all this says. It was just all those things that were said, about Tony Pollard. We were on a break. Oh, and remember when Marshall Faulk said that basically that Dak Prescott, when he starts making $30 million a year, will be a scrub? We were on a break. All that goes away because Zeke ends up showing up in camp. And it's interesting. I would have loved for the Cowboys to try and get a little leverage. Go a week or two. But I think that Jerry probably got a little nervous. Probably understanding that if Zeke isn't there for week 1 or week 2, he's not ready week 3 and week 4. and you lose a guy for a quarter of the season, what's the point of paying him all that money? What's the point of having this offensive line if you don't have the best running back in the league to run behind it? What the Cowboys are trying to do is get cost certainty over their top players for the next 3, 4, 5 years. If you know where you're spending and what you're spending, you can deal with it a lot easier. Even if you overspend a little bit, you're like, you know what? I'm overspending, but I paid the initiation dues. Jerry Jones feels like the parent that scolds the kid and threatens to take away the phone. And they get ready to leave for school, and they're like, yeah, I got to give it back to them because I got to know where they are when I pick them up. Right? That's what Jerry's doing. He wants so badly to be the guy who's the expert negotiator, to draw the hardline stance. He wants to be the Chargers. Go ahead. Find a trade partner. You know what? We're not talking about anybody else or anything else or any other contract extension till you show up in camp. That's what the Chargers did yesterday to Melvin Gordon, and he's mad. Jerry wants to be liked as much as he wants to be respected. He wants to win a Super Bowl, and he feels like this might be his last shot. Just like, you know, all of us parents, we get mad at our kids and we want to take away their phone. They're like, yeah, but there's literally no other way for them to interact with their friends. We don't even have a landline at my house anymore. So it's not like, hey, you got to call them at the house line. Like, no, can't do that. And oh, yeah, by the way, when they get done with school, we have to know where they are to pick them up. We got to make sure they're safe. And that's basically a tracking device, a honing device for where your children are. Most of us are guilty of it. I'm going to take away your phone if you do this. I'm going to take away your phone. You take away the phone, and you're like, here's the phone. And Jerry Jones, hey, we're going to play without. We'll have to play without him. We'll just proceed forward. We don't need the best rusher in the NFL to win a Super Bowl. Like saying all these things and then ultimately giving in and overpaying. Todd Gurley's contract's a bad one. Let's use that as the barometer for where to set our baseline. Seems like a bad plan, doesn't it? But that's because Jerry Jones is that guy who takes away the phone, then 5 minutes later says, here you go. Do better next time. Hi, I'm Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio, and you need to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel where you can hear and see me. Why not? Plus, everybody else who's awesome here in Fox Sports Radio.